Very good morning. Very happy to be back in Hong Kong. I've been staying and living in Hong Kong here for the past 18 years. So I have a very special relationship with the city and many of you here. My name is Charles. I'm the CEO of the DYDX Foundation. And I'm going to tell you more about how we see our path to $1 trillion daily volume in the world of crypto derivatives, which is really the focus of the DYDX protocol. I was telling you about my relationship with Hong Kong, 18 years living here in the past, and I'm also the author of a book about Hong Kong and the crypto scene in Hong Kong, which is called Block Kong. And the reason I'm popping up this book is to make you aware of the book, obviously, but also to highlight one of the guests I had. So this book is essentially 21 interviews of 21 crypto entrepreneurs in Hong Kong. The book was issued in 2019, so it dates a little bit. But one of the guests and one of the interviewees I got in the book was SBF, which started his business FTX here in Hong Kong. And it's a really good, I would say, illustration of why DeFi. And DYDX is a DeFi-only type of protocol, but we all know the FTX story. We all know, and we should be reminded that when you use centralized exchanges, you lose custody of your funds, and then you hope for the best. But some problems may happen. So Block Kong, have a look at it if you're flying back home later on to get a feel of the city and why some of the major centralized exchanges started in Hong Kong and why you should keep thinking about DeFi. Crypto exchange trading volumes are obviously massive. We are back in a bull market, but that's very important to try to map a little bit how this market are evolving and how they kind of share the volume between spot and perpetuals. Perpetuals being crypto derivative products. So many people are focusing on the spot price for any kind of crypto asset, but the reality behind the numbers is the spot market represents, roughly speaking, 20% of the crypto volumes on exchanges, centralized and decentralized. But the vast majority of the volumes in crypto are coming from crypto derivatives. So it's very important to pay attention to this part of the market. This is where the price discovery is probably driving all the spot market overall. If you look at the dominance of centralized exchanges in the perpetuals market, they are still very much dominating this place for now. About 98% of the derivative trading of perpetuals is happening today on CEXs, centralized exchanges, and Binance represents more or less 50% of this volume. So that's a very, very strong signal also that this market is essentially calling for disruption. We've seen centralized exchanges dominating spot market in the past, but a few years ago, a small project called Uniswap started to offer spot trading via AMM in a DEX fashion, and today Uniswap represents 10 to 15%. So the trend and the market transformation we observed in the spot market is probably upcoming as well in the derivative market, but this time with a much larger volume, that is the volumes of crypto derivatives. In terms of DEXs, today DYDX dominates these markets, even though there is more and more players coming and competing for market shares in the DEX market for perps. Today DYDX represents about 60% of the market shares of perps, and about 2% of the total market. So you can see that this trend is evolving in the right direction. And as I was mentioning and illustrating before, what we've seen in the past for the spot market kind of pivot to DEXs, we see the same happening before our eyes in the perpetual market right now. So why perpetuals? Why it's a good product market fit for crypto? It's basically because of its volumes and because of its kind of footprint on the market. This is where the price discovery is for the most part happening and very much influencing the spot market. When you trade perps, you can go long, can go short. You've got flexibility on the contracts. It's a product which has been launched and I would say made popular here in Hong Kong by BitMEX at the time. And so I think we should celebrate and remember that some of these key products today you can trade on Binance, OKX, and so on. Some of them have their roots here in Hong Kong, and I think we can celebrate that. And there is also much more capabilities in terms of leveraging, for example, as well as speculation and hedging overall. You can trade with perpetuals type of assets, different type of strategies, such as the delta neutral, for example. So how do we get to $1 trillion daily volume? There is obviously a lot of work to be done in the user experience. So DYDX has been working on this topic for quite some time and keep evolving. That's I would say a challenge for all of us in Web3. New markets. DYDX has announced a few weeks ago that we will be integrating with a new Oracle system called Slinky, which will allow us to list 200 to 500 different new markets. So the velocity of new markets will be also increasing, but there will be also a much larger kind of market base to consider for you guys to express your opinion on these new trading pairs. And scalable infrastructure, that's very important as well to reach this trillion daily market. Today, to give you an order of magnitude, DYDX moves between $1 to $2 billion daily of trading volumes on about 60 trading pairs. So what is DYDX? DYDX is a decentralized perpetual trading platform. It's a protocol now. It has been created in 2017 by Antonio Giuliano, which is a former Coinbase employee. And since inception, DYDX went through 4 different iterations, so 4 different versions. The current version, which has been launched in December, is called the DYDX chain. So it's totally open source. The code of the protocol is open source, as well as the user interface. The history of DYDX started in 2017, as I mentioned. It started to try to find its product market fit for a period of time before launching a non-custodial trading platform, which was first on Ethereum layer 1 and then on layer 2, one of the very early adopter of layer 2 on Starknet. And later, after moving to layer 2, there was some clear, I would say, signal that DYDX volumes and size and demand in terms of resources would not be satisfied by any layer 2 at the time, given the architecture and just the success of the application. So that's when the engineers of DYDX decided to go further and kind of stick to their first principles of DeFi and go further in terms of decentralization. That's when the DYDX chain came up. Along with the foundation founded in 2021. The DYDX chain was launched in December 2023. It's basically run by 60 active validators and more than 100 validators overall. It's still an order book type of exchange, but this time the order book is not off-chain anymore. It's really sitting on the top of the validators. So you've got a really, truly decentralized, high-velocity exchange, order book type of exchange, which is not relying anymore on any off-chain database because of the constraints of a chain or a layer 2. So you don't have the latency, for example, of any layer 1 or layer 2. You don't have to wait for the block to get an update on your price. It's a very different systems where the order book and the chain itself are linked but separated in order to keep really the maximum capacities. The DYDX chain is today fully decentralized. That's very important. We hear a lot about decentralization, layer 1, layer 2. But if you look very carefully into all the details, there is always a critical component of centralization, which is not happening on the DYDX chain. It's a decentralized off-chain order book, but technically decentralized as it sits on the top of the validators. An easy onboarding. You come with your MetaMask wallet, with as a wallet of you like. And one very important thing, and one of the tweaks which was able to be made thanks to the launch of the DYDX chain is the kind of re-engineering of the token economics of DYDX token. So DYDX token on Ethereum used to be a governance-only token. Now on the DYDX chain, the DYDX token is allowing the stakers, if they decide to stake, to essentially secure the chain. And all the protocol fees, 100% of the protocol fees, are going to stakers. So when you've got a protocol which is moving $1 to $2 billion of trading volume daily, obviously the users are paying fees. They pay fees in USDC. So when you stake DYDX, you get rewarded in USDCs. And these USDCs are essentially the trading fees from the users. So I really invite every one of you to really pause and let it sink. It's a very important change and a very unique experience of staking. When you stake DYDX, you do not get DYDX. when you stake DYDX, you get USDCs. These USDCs are coming from the fees of the users, and today the APR are between 15 to 30%, depending on the trading volumes of the day. So you might get 15% on Monday, on Tuesday you might get 20%, and if there is like a high volatility on the market, a lot of trading, a lot of fees being paid, you get more USDC. So the change of token economics is really massive, very important to capture, and very beneficial for the stakers and participants overall. DYDX chain is also has implemented several solutions of MEV and keep exploring the MEV topic. It's an ongoing part of the research. And as I mentioned, DYDX is fully open source. The protocol is open source. The user interface is open source. It's really a kind of sticking to the first principles of DeFi. Some statistics. We are soon reaching on the DYDX chain only $100 billion, probably in the next few days, or probably next day. So far, since early December 2023, 16 million USDC of rewards to stakers have been distributed. So that's really illustrating the principles I was explaining to you earlier. And thanks to governance, about 62 plus trading pairs are live on DYDX. And as I mentioned earlier, within a few months, you will see many, many more. Hundreds of new markets will be listed on DYDX to really let everyone express their opinion. Should it be on meme coins or new protocol overall? All of this is driven by the community. So as a staker, as a token holder, you can vote on any of the decisions made by the protocol. And so far, over the past 4 months, close to 50 governance proposals have been going through the vote system of DYDX. So what's coming up is permissionless markets. So as I mentioned, a big upgrade of the Oracle systems coming up, allowing many, many more markets to be listed. We're talking hundreds. There is also some improvements of the core trading infrastructure, as well as many more onboarding. You see a lot of validators coming from the centralized exchanges. You see a lot of signals which can see that there is some great minds and very active people coming to work around the DYDX ecosystem. So a very busy 2024 ahead of us, and we're very excited about it. Maybe I want to double click on permissionless market. What does it mean? It means that if you want to keep growing DeFi, you cannot only kind of chase the centralized exchanges momentum. You need to create your own and very unique value propositions and offers. And by permissionless market, we essentially enable any users or any traders coming to the protocol and deciding to list any type of asset. So we've seen this working very well with Uniswap in the world of spots. And we are seeing this working very well as well with DYDX in the world of perpetuals, crypto derivatives at a 10 times bigger size, I would say. So what it means is that after a few days of governance votes, any asset can be listed on DYDX. So there is a few rules. You need to provide liquidity, making sure the market is healthy, but it really opens, I will say, the field of building an unfair advantage and building something leveraging the benefits of DeFi. There is also a lot of improvements coming up on the UX, working on the MEV dashboards, one-click onboarding, CTTP, which is the cross-chain infrastructure by Circle for USDC. So the rewards you're getting as a staker on DYDX will be essentially movable within the Cosmos ecosystem, but also within interchain, should it be Ethereum, Solana, or any others. And all of this is really controlled by the users, as I was mentioning. So the community, for example, a few days ago decided to put the DYDX treasury, community treasury to work. So 20 million DYDX have been staked a few days ago in order to keep securing and increasing the security of the chain by having more tokens being staked coming from the community treasury. The community sits on, roughly speaking, $700 million of treasury, which they are starting to put to work. This first step illustrates this kind of visions by the community and the power the community has to put their asset to work by having this staking initiatives of 20 million DYDX stake earlier this week. So as I mentioned, there is these mechanisms of staking. It's very interesting, very unique. You stake DYDX, you get USDCs. It's coming from the trading fees. Really simple formula, but if you're a staker already on different protocols, should it be ETH or some others, try the DYDX staking experience and you will start to realize and compute like, okay, actually I've got really a very special relationship with the application layer of DYDX protocol, and all the trading fees paid by the users come to the stakers. How to participate, how to join DYDX. We have a solid community. It's obviously available on Discord. We have also a DYDX forum, which is a great way for you to catch up on all the news and the governance worlds. But you can also start by following at DYDX on Twitter and get the latest news, understanding what's coming up, what is the community and the market discussing right now. So thanks so much for having me. I will be around together with my colleague Isashi here to discuss with you and answer some of your questions. Thank you very much.